So in today's video I am going to discuss about the IB board and compare it with the ISC board. And essentially both these boards are meant for high school students who are completing class 12 or grade 12. And essentially these boards are a launch pad to your further study in college or universities or technical institutions. Now IB is an international board, so it is there around the world and it's present in various countries. And this board is something which is specially focused toward creating global citizens, creating critical thinking skills in students, developing a research mindset. And essentially you can choose 6 subjects in this boards, which can be a mix of sciences, humanities, social sciences and languages. Now this board, being a very well known global board, has very good books written by scholarly people on each of these subjects. Now beside these 6 subjects, you also take some tasks which are focused towards developing your research skills, developing you as a person, and in inculcating some aspects of social service into the people. And these research tasks can be classified as TOK, which is theory of knowledge, and an essay task, which is again a piece of writing you need to do. Now both these tasks require you to write a reasonably sized but compendious document, and the objective of these tasks is to make sure that you have introspective research component in your scholarly skill set, and that you have the capability not only to study a subject but also to peruse the literature, come up with a problem, and maybe write a research paper on this task. The CAS is more focused towards volunteer aspects, where you may help to mitigate the suffering of deprived people or improve the quality of life of people in the world at large. Now typically the IB grades you from 1 to 7, and 4 or greater is considered to be a good grade for college, and below this is not a good grade. You may also not get your diploma if you do not clear the TOK, the EE or the CAS portions. That is the portions which require you to write these compositions and also to do social service. Now much more detail is there in one of the videos I have mentioned on this particular topic, and you can check those videos out in this case. Now one more aspect is that you may take 3 of the subjects in standard level and 3 at higher level, which is typical for most people, and again you have to score well in both these particular situations. Now one of the good points about IB is that you get to study these 6 subjects in quite a lot of detail, and there is a lot of flexibility in terms of choosing these subjects. You also develop very good writing, verbal and research skills, which can help you in your college and graduate study. And these skills will also help you to prepare for the SAT and the ACT and later for the GRE, GMAT and so on. Now one of the negative aspects of this board is that it is relatively expensive, being based in Switzerland, and therefore it is very suitable for expatriate students or students whose parents are expatriates, and these people are studying in countries such as Singapore or the Middle East and so on, or even Hong Kong. So I will now look at the problem of your being a student in India and having access to the IB board and the ISC board. Now of course I have listed out all the positive aspects of the IB board here, but keep in mind that some of these skills take time to develop, so it is better if you have studied in this board in your primary and middle school also, and don't try to make a sudden transition to the board in class 12. because some of these research skills and writing skills take time to develop. Now if we come to the ISC board, that's a Indian board which is primarily based on English language being the main source of teaching, and there is a high degree of depth as far as the English language is concerned in this particular board, which goes deeply into the literary aspects of the language, literature, poetry, critical review of some of the literature and so on. So this is one of the boards where you get to actually read Shakespeare and critique the novels of Shakespeare. So I personally remember reading The Merchant of Venice and Richard II when I was in my school in this particular board system. Now again, here you have a selection of subjects which you can choose from. So you could choose, for example, physics, chemistry, math, commerce, English, and maybe another language. Now this board has been in existence for decades, so there are many good books in this board, and these have been written by some of the prominent experts in the field. Now in contrast to the IB, here you get percentage marks, and so I would say these marks are less discrete than in the IB system, where you are graded from 1 to 7. So here you may get percentages such as 72%, 93%, 85%. So the advantage of this is that there is no precipitous fall, but in the IB system you may fall from a 4 to 3 if you get one question wrong, or you may lose 1 mark. So there is a compression of a zone of several marks into a point or a grade. So that compression can be sometimes beneficial to you, but in more cases than not it can be deleterious to you. So that is something to keep in mind. Now ISC board, one more thing is you may get higher marks. So again, this board has a more clear pattern about how to go about checking the different examination paper and maybe less subjective. Also, I would say the primary advantage may be the cost is much lesser compared to the global board. This may be an issue for students who may have problems with paying the high fees. Also, this board gives you access to the entire system within India as far as the examinations are concerned. So whether you are preparing for the JEE or the NEET, or you are planning to apply to a US university by giving SAT, ACT and the AP exams, you are benefited in both these kind of situations, because as far as this board is concerned, it lets you have 1 feet in the Indian system and 1 feet in the foreign system. And this board is also well recognized by most of the people around the world, and so they have a good concept about what is the percentage marks from this board and what does it mean. But I should of course point out that the IB board is more global, and therefore if you do phenomenally well in that board in terms of getting 45 points or getting 7 in most of the subjects and so on, then you may get a full scholarships to some of the very top universities in the world. So that is something to keep in mind, that if you are a very good student, then the investment in that board may be worth it. But for many people who are still not sure about their being a very good student, the ISC board will let you hedge your bets in a better manner. So these are some concepts I had for you today about comparing these boards, and I hope these will help you in selecting your board when you have completed class 10 and then going on further for your higher studies in college and universities around the world. So thank you for listening to me in this video. Stay tuned to my channel for more such videos. I'll see you later.